Three, two, one, one, two, three, three, two, one.
What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the PEAT Podcast. I'm your girl, Nat, the GM, and it's my guy, Jones. Jones will say what's up to the people.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? I know y'all feeling good because we're in the second round now. So let's go.
Let's go. So before we get into it, let's get to the injury report and let's bring in Brian. What's up, Brian?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
What's going on, Brian?
Who's missing a leg today? Who doesn't have an arm?
Who is it? It seems like these days. Well, the biggest news out of today, and as I'm speaking, they're about to tip off in Boston here. 76ers. Embiid is starting. He should be playing. Apparently, he is not on any minutes restriction. So big recovery for him. We'll see if he's hampered by this knee injury at all. I was kind of surprised to hear that he was going to be back so quickly because it was word that he just received what's called a PRP treatment for the knee, which is a special type of injection that you get to help calm down any inflammation and help healing process. But usually when you're getting that, it requires a few more weeks of just rest and kind of letting the healing process kick in. So it's a little quick, but maybe it wasn't as bad as I originally thought. I got to be honest, when I heard the diagnosis, LCL sprain, I was kind of taken aback because that's not an easy ligament in the knee to injure. It takes a tremendous amount of force. That's not something you typically see on the basketball court. So I wasn't really convinced that was really as significant a factor as what they thought. It could have just been a simple little tweak of the knees, maybe a little minor sprain. Initially, they were saying it was really serious. I highly doubt it. I just think the Sixers probably realize that they're not going to be able to depend on Harden to have a game like that every game of the series. Right. And so they're like, we need Embiid back here. And coming off the MVP announcement,
absolutely.
He's all hyped up to go. Probably felt a lot better. So here he is. He's starting. Game tip-off just happened. So see how he does.
We'll see.
Yeah. Moving right along. My Knicks looked much better the other night and actually took home a win to even up that series. But, I think the fact that the Heat won game one was one of the reasons why they sat Jimmy Butler, knowing that they could come out of New York with at least splitting the series there. And he didn't play with an ankle sprain. I would be shocked if we don't see him game 3. I don't think it was that serious. He was definitely hampered by it, but was able to play a little bit more in the game after he getting injured with like 5:50 left in the fourth quarter. Even a mild to moderate sprain, you can play through. It's really a matter of controlling that swelling and stiffness, and he's probably going to have it protected with a brace, but I think we see him game 3. I don't think they can afford to have him out another game heading back to Miami. Big news out of the Western Conference was Chris Paul tweaked his groin, and Chris Paul's been around a long time. He's a veteran now, so he's not like he was back in his Wake Forest days. We know that he's oft injured, and usually when he is, he's sitting out for a while. Word on the street today was that he's going to be out at least for a week before they even reevaluate him, and they're possibly going to be without him through game 5, possibly even longer. And I would not be surprised, depending on how this series kind of unfolds here, if he even comes back at all during this series. So we'll see what happens. Soft tissue injuries, especially the groin, is a tough one to deal with. And being older and with his history, I don't see him coming back quickly from that. And I think that's it, guys, unless I'm missing somebody else. The Lakers are actually healthy that's the team I thought I'd be talking about the most, and they're actually the healthiest, which is kind of surprising.
That's something.
Yeah, isn't that? I guess maybe load management did work. Maybe it has something to do with the West Coast. I don't know. But LeBron looks like he's doing pretty well, playing 40-plus minutes a game. AD's playing 40-plus minutes a game. We'll see how long they can hold out. I think the extra time off helped them for sure. Game 1 against the Warriors, but we'll have to see how the rest of the series unfolds. I think the Warriors still have the upper hand.
Hey, Brian, you think LeBron looked good last night?
AD looked good.
He did. AD looked
I'm a New York fan and I'm an MJ guy, so I don't know. I don't know if LeBron ever looks good to me.
Oh God, here we go.
I'll give him some props, when it's due, but that's not very often.
No, I got you. Thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate it,
Brian.
My pleasure, guys. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs here. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you soon. Thank you. And we're gonna bring in our guest for the week, Trippy OG. I'm surrounded by Knicks fans, and we're gonna
here.
What's up, Trippy?
Y'all can hear me? Everything good?
Everything is good.
How you doing, boss?
How y'all doing? Thank you for having me, first and foremost, man.
Absolutely.
Man.
Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to talk, but it's too much Knicks love going on here.
Yeah.
Too many Knicks
Wait,
fans here.
You about to back out the jersey, bro? You about to back it out?
Hold on.
You feel me?
Oh,
playing with us.
We
outside.
We outside.
Stay inside. That's what we need. Stay inside.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into it. And just talk a little bit, because last week, that night actually that we recorded, Milwaukee goes home. We didn't get a chance to talk about that, So they went home and it took overtime, but an 8th seed beat the 1 seed and a lot of people's favorites to go to the finals, right? So what happened in that series? Like, what happened? And Trippy, I'm gonna go to you. What did you see in that series? Even though Giannis was a little bit banged up, he played in the majority. So what happened?
Definitely. Well, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts before the report came out, and my condolences to Coach's brother. But before that report came out, we thought the coach was losing his mind. We was like, where are the adjustments? You got timeouts. You're not using your timeouts when needed. You're in overtime now. You still have more timeouts, not using them. Why wasn't Robin Lopez in on that pass instead of having that? Like, it's a whole bunch of implications that was like, whoa, this is not the same number 1 seed team we seeing right now. What is going on?
Right.
So, and then, later down the line, we found out Coach's brother passed away. So it kind of made sense. Like, he really wasn't in the right headspace.
He was out of it. Yeah.
Right.
But, hey, Miami took advantage and they did what they had to do. Like, we can't control what happens with that situation or how coaches move, but they seized the opportunity. And look at them now. They're going against us. Look at the AC. Took out the number 1. Jimmy Butler going crazy. Looking like MJ out here. Like, who? Playoff Jimmy is actually a thing. I don't want nobody to not stand that. That is a thing, bro. If you can drop 40 points in 8 playoff games and never do it in a season, you're playoff. Just
he had 42. 42 in a closeout, y'all. I mean,
after just dropping 56 the game before.
But and then came back with 42. Like that's a playoff guy right there.
The basket to seal a deal is
absolutely
basically a alley, bro. You got an alley,
right?
Like, you got it.
Insane. Yeah. And then the next the next series we could talk about is the Golden State Warriors closing out Sacramento. Now, that was an absolute great series. And that was honestly the series that, I think a lot of us tuned into, because we knew that Golden State should win.
Right.
But Sacramento was convincing. It was like, man, they might take this. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I thought a little differently with that one. I thought the Kings was going to take it. Like, the way it looked at first, I was like, okay, maybe the Warriors are actually getting old. Like Father Time might have came.
Yeah.
Then Curry came out of nowhere. Wait, before we even get to Curry, because a lot of people ain't talking about it. Shout outs to Klay Thompson's performance in Game 5 that helped him get back in this.
Right.
That boy, the Splash Brothers came to play. Draymond set the tone. You know, he got the Kings a little bit in their bag. You know, make them feel themselves. And then Klay Thompson and company just said, you know what? It's over. Let's get this back to reality. Let's show them why we're champions. Let's show them like, yeah, we respect your season. We respect what you accomplished. But let's show them that this is championship experience. Yeah. So that's what they did. Dropping a 50-piece. Oh, my goodness.
Listen, Jones, what did you see in that game, and how do you feel about that series overall now that it's wrapped up?
First, to piggyback off of what Trippy OG just said, is in Game 7, Game 6 and 7, the experience showed. I thought it was a great series overall. I said in the beginning in our first episode that I thought this was going to be one of the top matches in the first round. I said this is going to be bonkers. I know Warriors are the Warriors. They're going to be the Warriors. But the Kings, they coming. They ain't scared of nobody. They coming. But the experience showed Game 7. You see what Steph did, and you see what the Kings did not do. And that was just – I don't want to even blame Fox having an injury because he was lights out in Game 6. He was lights out. So it didn't look like it had that much of an effect on him. Game 7, I think he dropped 16 points. I don't think anybody on the Kings dropped more than 18 points. Nobody hit 20. So experience short. I think the moment was just too big for them. And that's just what happens. But at least they got the experience. So shout out to the Kings. I think they're a team to look out for.
You know what, they are. And when I looked at that series, I said, imagine if Sabonis had an offensive bag. What would we be talking about? You know, to me, that's what happened. Sabonis doesn't have an offensive bag. He can't step out and shoot. He can't, he hesitated a lot. They sagged off of him. They was like, oh, he ain't gonna shoot that. Or he ain't gonna make it. I'll live with that. I just don't want Fox to get off. It was easier to guard them because Sabonis just couldn't. There's a lot of things he could not do. And I was like, damn, just think if that guy had just a little bit more of an offensive, bag to him, like he can have a bag of tricks. And, would that be different? And then you also have to consider Herter didn't have a great series, but he got a lot of minutes. Now, Mike Brown, coach of the year, but I have to question when I saw Davion Mitchell barely play when he's been giving Steph a hard time, but you barely play him. You play Davis, but no Davion Mitchell. I'm like, okay, coach of the year. What are we doing? Because are you just giving up? Because you didn't play him at all. And I thought that was strange. Herter, he couldn't hit the ocean, he just couldn't. You could put him in front of the beach and I'll tell you, he would miss the water. That's just what will happen. And you keep him in, and then you don't put Davion Mitchell in. Harrison Barnes struggled. So it's amazing with all those struggles that they had, they pushed the defending champs to 7 games. So what I look at for this team is they shouldn't hang their heads. They have a fantastic future. They can go on, they can have something to build on. This is what that year was about. You're a third seed after missing the playoffs, 16 years?
Right.
You're a third seed. Don't hang your head. You weren't swept. There wasn't a gentleman's sweep. You actually had to make them play to the point where no one else showed up to that Game 7 in a Warriors jersey except Steph Curry and Kevon Looney. Those two understood that it was Game 7 and it wasn't a Game 8. So I got a question for you guys, right? Because this seems to spark a lot of conversation. With what we've seen in 14 years of Steph Curry and all that he's done, the way he's changed this game, is he a top 10 player all time?
Go ahead, Trippy.
Dang. You had to start with me, right? You had to go with me.
Absolutely.
Honestly speaking, at this point, we can't even say top 10 no more. He got to be top 5. Like, has to be top 5, bro. Like, without a doubt. Like, and that's physically like putting respect on his name. Like, you have to give it to him. He breaks the 3-point record. Mind you, he still has years to play. So who knows when that record's ever getting beaten again?
It's not.
Yeah.
Just saying, been with
not
the
like
same team since he's been drafted. Dealt with major ankle injuries that almost ended his career. Remember, like, people forget, like, boy was almost done. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mark Jackson for saving them ankles. But just look at the tenure. Stay with the same group, never folded. Has been dominant. Like, his team alone, since Steve Kerr's been the coach, Western Conference alone, 19-0 in the Western Conference. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Let's talk about when it comes to just facing LeBron. He's 3-1 against him. So he lost once. Like, had some players showed up that one game, LeBron would have what? How many chips? It would be 3, if I'm not mistaken? It would be 3, right? He wouldn't have that that whole Cleveland Game 7. He wouldn't even have it. And it's crazy too. The reason why I really stamp him top 5.
Yep.
And I don't think a lot of people give him this credit. This was supposed to be the generation of LeBron. But I sure did see Steph Curry beat LeBron a lot. I'm just saying. And I sure did see Stephen Curry change and evolutionize the game again in the same fashion of like an Allen Iverson. So I'm just saying, top 5, stamp him.
Jones, what you got to say after that?
I can't go top 5. I respect everything you said, but I can't go top 5. Top 10, he's in. Top 10.
I mean, your top 5 solidified.
My 5 is solidified right now. You made a great argument, though. I'm not gonna lie. You made a great argument, but the reason why I can't go top 5 is because you made a great point about him in the finals with LeBron. But we got to remember, he had to go get that big guy from OKC to go help him, because he knew if I didn't get that dude, Brown was going to take him out again and again and again, because they were scared to death. That's why they picked up that phone and said, yo, KD, come on, man. you need some rings? Come on, man. So that's the only reason why I can't go 5. Everything else you said was right on the head. He's revolutionized the game. Ain't nobody touching that record, not in our lifetime. It ain't happening. And people, this is the thing that gets me mad about when people talk about Steph that's not appreciated. His all-around packages, they just talk about him shooting the 3. His all-around package as a basketball player on the offensive side is A+.
Yep.
Dribble, he can get to the basket, he can pass. The motherfucker gets, I've seen this motherfucker get 15 rebounds in a game. Like, what?
I forgot about that game. That's super classic.
Yeah, so that is a classic game.
He can do it all. So there's no knock. I will never take any knock when it comes to Steph Curry. He's definitely, after getting that last ring, he in there.
What I will say as well, because I agree with everything you guys said, right? He also had 8 rebounds and 6 assists and 1 turnover on that in that closeout.
Come on. Come on. That's
you get the Trae Young bow.
Sure. Absolutely.
He was cooking.
He doesn't just shoot threes, and it's time to have that conversation, about Steph Curry. We have to stop lying to ourselves. I'm not lying to myself. That man is top 10. I knew that though. But he doesn't just shoot threes. And that's that's what the Steph Curry haters or doubters like to say. Well, he doesn't shoot threes. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. Have you seen his handle? Have you seen how he breaks down 2 defenders and cuts through and
Chris Paul?
I'm like, and you're slapping at the ball, and this man is already at the rim, and you trying to figure out how he hit coast to coast.
Those are the type of fans you got to ask them, like, did you really watch the game, or did you watch the highlights?
Exactly.
I watched the game and I saw him playing on ball, off ball. I see him shooting the three, going to
Nobody
the lane,
even talks about that.
out.
How the man comes off the ball, he running all day long, and he still has all that energy to put up 50.
So
ridiculous.
It's kind of neck and neck sometimes, because my favorite point guard is James Harden technically, but Steph Curry is like right there, right there with it.
You label Harden as a point guard?
That man is a point guard.
That's what you label him though, for real, for real?
He's a point guard. What is he right now? What has he been playing the last few years? Think about it. He's the playmaker. Think about it. Look at his assists. Who brings the ball up? Right. That man. It's one day we will have this toxic conversation. Everyone can tear me up, whatever you think, right? I said simultaneously at a point in his career, he was top 5 in shooting guard and point guard at the same time. That's what I said, because it's been a while. I don't know if I've seen that in my lifetime. I'm 33. I don't know if I've seen that in my lifetime. Somebody who's so good at doing both and elite at both. That is amazing to me. So I don't know. We can have that conversation one day, but real quick, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Underdog Fantasy is here to save your post-fantasy football season blues. The easiest place to play and win with the Underdog Fantasy app. Get up to 20 times your money in a single night with our Pick'em contests. Grab some insurance when setting your picks and win even when one pick fails. Go online now and use the promo code 3PEAT to double your deposit up to $100. Sit gingerbread, good girl.
That's right. That's right. Don't forget, go to Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code 3PEAT, and you will double your deposit up to $100.
That's right, guys. That's right. But yeah, like I was saying, one day I would want to have a segment where we talk about James Harden. We talk about some of the most talked about players, the controversial players, right? That people like to talk about, and they take a lot of their credibility away. Whether you talk about KD, Steph, Harden, we can put some people in there and actually have this conversation. But I don't know, James Harden he's amazing. Like he really is.
I definitely got to be there for that one.
Oh yeah.
You might just have to just talk about OKC, that 3-man weave just at one shot, like just call it AD, Westbrook, and Harden. They get the bulk of everything.
No, 100%. And speaking of James Harden, they go in to Boston, where I am. And no Joel Embiid. He is in street clothes. They beat the Celtics. 45 points for James Harden. 38 points for Jason Tatum. What did you guys see in that game, and what happened? Because I have a rant I am going to go on, but I want to know, Trippy, what did you see in that game, and how the hell?
You don't want to hear from me right now. That's too
I do.
I'm gonna sit back on this.
She gonna get the smoke from both of us. She getting it from both of us.
I got some smoke for y'all. Y'all can go ahead. I got some smoke for y'all.
Look, this is what I seen. Boston. Shout outs to my guy State, man. He says it best every day on Twitter. The basketball gods have seen what you guys have done to Udoka, and now it's backfiring. You got Marcus Smart telling us that your offense is ran random. Who does that in the middle of a playoff series? That team is not going far. Like, it's not. They're in shambles. I really hope Jason Tatum's okay, because that fall he took, I thought he was done for. I was like, oh my goodness. But they really don't have any type of sets. The fact that James Harden went back to Houston Harden was like, oh yeah, they done messed up. Joel Embiid didn't even play. Like, he's not even here. Like, y'all didn't even get Joel Embiid on the floor yet. And Harden just said, all right, let me spin back the clock real quick to show y'all that we really going to that next round. Like, forget everything y'all did during the season. Where it matters, y'all not getting past us. Like, it's a dub. It's really about to be, I feel like it's about to be a sweep. And then you got Joel MVP coming through, talking about game 2 I'm playing. Boston getting swept. I'm sorry. I'm not even a Philly fan. Boston getting swept. No gentleman sweep. Sweep going.
I love my Knicks fans. Go ahead, Jones.
Do you have a response before I go?
No, I do, but I need you to go first.
Oh, he says sweep. Oh man, he bringing that smoke. I love it.
They're gonna do it 2 times.
Man,
Jesus.
For me, what I saw the same thing. But I'm gonna say what we saw the Celtics do in the finals, which was play, like you said, random basketball, not really having a set, just playing iso ball with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and turning over the ball a lot, and bad moments. They turn over the ball in the worst moments, it seems like, and they never seem to come back from it. And when they last year, they were one of the, if not the best defensive team in the league. Where's that same defensive intensity? You got the same players. You might have lost the coach, but you should still have that mindset. You should still have that mindset. You know what to do. I understand you have a different coach. They might be telling you something different, but if it ain't working, you tell coach, I'm sorry, we not listening to that because it ain't working, coach. This is what was working for us. This is how we going to play it. This is what got us to the finals. So I don't know what is going on with them. I agree with him. I was with the Celtics at first, but now I think if Embiid is anywhere close to being MVP Embiid, I think and Harden can. I don't think Harden's going to give you another 45, but if he can be anywhere close to that, where he's still getting guys involved, but he can still get his shot up, Celtics are in trouble.
Well, we start with the jokes early. So, number one, they're not sweeping shit. All right, we're gonna start right there. They're not sweeping shit. I'm very happy that they got that one win. I'm so happy they got that one win. Right, they did what they were supposed to do. Congratulations, you showed the hell up to work, and you were supposed to split in Boston. Absolutely, we were supposed to win. Now, what I will say, Joe Mazzulla prematurely got the head coach nod and he was made permanent. It should have never happened. It should have never happened. That was the first bad mistake I've seen Brad Stevens make in the front office. He's been on fire since he's been in the front office until he did that. That didn't even make sense. It looked like it was, well, we need somebody. You've been here, so you make sense. Now, interim made sense. Interim head coach made sense. But when you said permanent, I said, okay, I have a problem with this. I said, because clearly this guy does not know what he's doing. He does not know how to adjust. He thinks that he needs to score more points instead of defend better. You have probably the best physically gifted defensive team in the league right now, where 1 through 5, then if you grab 3 guys off the bench, those guys can move. They can go to the 3-point line. The bigs can move to the 3-point line and go to the paint. A lot of your guards are blocking shots. You guys have all the tools, but yet your defense is so in and out here and there. I don't know if today it's going to show up. That's a coaching problem. And it's because he puts an emphasis on scoring. How many times have we seen those guys get an open lane layup, right? Or floater. I don't know what's wrong with you guys missing the art of the floater, but it's mind-boggling to me.
Yep.
You go and then you kick it out to Derek White in the corner, or you kick it out to Marcus Smart. You kick it out to Marcus Smart. Instead of taking the floater, instead of taking the drive and putting the pressure on the defense, you kick it out to Marcus fucking Smart. Or you kick it out to Jason Tatum. Love Jason Tatum. Clearly, he's the best player on that team. My man shoots about 50 threes a game, and he's okay with making 3 of them. It's just okay to make 3 of them because we think we're Steph Curry. Because we think that we're going to be Steph Curry. We think that at 6'10", we are going to shoot 40 of 50 from 3. It doesn't make sense. Then you have the coddled Jaylen Brown. You don't say anything about Jaylen Brown, people. Don't say anything because he doesn't do anything wrong. When he doesn't get involved, it's everyone else's fault. You have to remember that. Or it could be that when he gets the ball and he dribbles more than 5 times, it's off his feet, it's off his leg. Or there's a turnover. There's a guy that swipes the ball, he steals the ball, and you're like, what the hell happened? And I'm like, well, it must be Jason Tatum's fault. Clearly it's Tatum's fault because Tatum
she getting in their ass better than we did. Go ahead, Nat. Go ahead.
Tatum should have made sure that he didn't steal the ball, that he kept the ball in his hands, right? Right, guys? I want to make sure that I take care of Jaylen Brown and his feelings and his fans. Is that correct?
You got it.
Hey, man, I don't know.
Is that correct? Better. I want to make sure that I'm being fair. Am I being fair? Because it's Jason Tatum's fault, right? Because everything is Jason Tatum's fault.
According to all fans, yep, that's what they say.
But listen, I'm not for the bullshit. Jaylen Brown clocks out and he checks out and he's on the bench while he's still running up and down the court a lot of the time. And that's my problem with that man, okay? You had a chance a few times to make something happen. Instead, you chose to dribble the hell out of that ball. And once you went over 5 times, they stole it. They went the other way. They scored. And then when you said nobody was running, I remember Jason Tatum got all the way back and tried to block that shot along with Marcus Smart running past you, and you jogged up the court. There are too many excuses for this team. There are too many excuses. We can blame Jason Tatum, but my God, if you point out that Jaylen Brown has some work to do, all hell breaks loose and everybody's like, free JB. Yeah, free fucking JB. Learn how to dribble. Yeah. Free JB. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I have to ask you this, right? Just to have somewhat of JB back, because I
knew it was coming.
Right? Nah. What you said is on the money. I ain't disagreeing with that at all. But put yourself in JB's shoes, right? Every 2 seconds, your team is trying to package you away for this star, as if last year when y'all were in the finals, you didn't hold the team on your back. Like, you were the reason why they could have won the whole shit and had they just ran it through you. Like, let's be real here. Brown definitely could have won them that chip that year.
He definitely had a series.
You feel me? Like, he was unstoppable. Like, they had no answer for him. They could not stop him. So instead of going that route, so he probably took that personal. And we get into the new year. Instead of trying to run it back, I mean, a whole bunch of trades still. I think personally, to sum this all up, after that little hug and talk he had with Trae Young, he might be going to Atlanta.
Well, he can get the fuck out of Boston. And let me tell you why. Because I'm going to push back on what you said about the finals. You should be able to have a better scoring night when they're focusing on Jason Tatum. They want to make sure they take Jason Tatum out of his game. That is the whole point of a number 2. When they got your number 1, the number 2 steps up. So congratulations, you did your job, JB. Oh my God.
That talk, yeah.
So I'm not with the coddling. And it's like, at the end of the day, this team has all the right pieces to it. But when you have a coach that thinks that he needs to score 150 points and give up 149, that's a problem. You know, when you have a team that is afraid to look at Marcus Smart and say, hey, I love what you have done in the starting lineup, but I think you'd be better utilized off of our bench because the energy you provide is much more useful, and you can gather the troops on that bench and get some order, because there's another guy in Malcolm Brogdon who literally makes better decisions as a guard, as a player. It's just a fact. He makes better decisions, and he needs to start. But you are you afraid to hurt Marcus Smart's feelings because MA made him a starter? You didn't have Malcolm Brogdon last year. This year you do. Right. So you can make that switch and you can make that change. But it needs to happen because Malcolm Brogdon, when he comes in off the bench, he can have 15 minutes, 18 minutes. My man has 15, 16 points, probably 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm like, damn, put him in the starting lineup. And look what he can do. But he's been a starter for his career. Marcus Smart has been on the bench for his career.
Exactly.
For a reason. You were drafted high by the Boston Celtics. What's this? 2014, and you've been a starter maybe 2 or 3 years of that time. So the keys do not belong to you as the starter, and that's what they saw early on. Why is it different all of a sudden? So I think that if Joe Mazzulla does not get a backbone or does not say, hey, we got to try something new, Al, you might got to sit down, and we got to bring Rob in for 30 plus minutes because he played 19 minutes that first game. There's no Joel Embiid. There should be no Al Horford. Huh?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Like, why did he only play 9? That's why I looked at the coach like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
19 minutes for the young Robert Williams, who's healthy. Al Horford got the majority of the minutes. I think he got 30 plus minutes or something like that. And he was getting cooked the whole night. He was getting cooked the whole night. And I was like, because he's not, the reason why you have him there is to play a guy like Joel Embiid. If Joel's not playing, why do you still have him there getting beat off the dribble and people getting by him? So I don't think it's a sweep. And honestly, I'm still going to stand on my 10. They're going to win in 6. And it's because I'm going to say, I think that when it comes to Boston and you see how they've played Philly this year, last year, the year before that, right? We can say Joel Embiid is a top 2 MVP, and we kick him out every single time. So then when you talk about this year, I'm still not impressed by their bench consistently. I think that DeAnthony Melton had a really good game because all you could do was shoot. You have no one else to throw it down low to. You better shoot the ball. That's why you're here. He got that green light. I think that Boston will get it together in this series, and they will get them. The only time I really struggle with Boston when I think about it, because now I see how the Western Conference is shaping up, and I see, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, but they gotta really hone in on that defense if they are going to do anything offensively. If you don't have any sets and you're scoring 115 points, offense isn't your problem. If you're winging it offensively, then do your thing. But defensively, you need to have some schemes, because if you do that, you can literally get yourself to the finals without any offensive sets, which is insane to me. When Marcus Smart said that, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's bad.
So that's what I see, with this team. Like I said, nobody can cook the Celtics more than I can. I'm a very realistic person.
You did a good ass job at it. Good ass job.
No one can cook them more than I cook them, because they get on my nerves with how they play, But we're going to see. But we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with the end of the segment. Last 20 minutes,
Yeah. Jazz, Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for all-purpose online wagering. For over 20 years, Jazz has provided the best and quickest payouts in sports and entertainment wagers. Live sports betting, covering all the major sports leagues, and even into the new and exciting world of esports. Down the stretch you'll come, with Jazz's online horse wagering. Get paid when you play with Jazz's fun and exciting online casino games. Go online now and use the promo code TSS for our new members deals. Jazz Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for online wagering.
All right, we back. Listen, I know y'all saw that game last night. Warriors versus Lakers, game 1. Now, I need to see the numbers of the viewers because I know everyone was tuned in. I don't care if you don't really watch basketball. I know you watch this game because we need to see Steph versus LeBron. That's what we're here to see. That's what we needed to see, and that's what we got. And last night, what we have is 117 to 112. The Lakers take the match. So you got 30 and 23 rebounds from Anthony Davis. He had 5 assists and 4 blocks. He only had 1 turnover. Now you have with LeBron 22, 11, and 4 with 3 blocks. Like off the bench, Dennis Schroeder comes in the game with 19, 2, and 3. And Rui Hachimura, he has 6 points, but he's a contributor. So Trippy, like, what did you see in that game? That game was exciting.
That game alone, first and foremost, showed me that you cannot sleep on Schroeder because I did not expect him to give me 19 of anything. Like normally he'd give you like little spot up points, probably 10, 8 here, the way he's been playing, the way the rotation is. But I don't know. I guess they must got some leap of faith now with the organization. Rui must have been talking to him, rubbed off on him, gave him the juice because those 2 boys have been holding down the bench for a while now. We can't disclose the defense from Jared Vanderbilt. Like, my guys out here defending at all angles. But LeBron and AD, they came here to just show their dominance. They really came here to show, like we really them guys. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is what we do. We are a physical force. Y'all going to respect us. And I just personally think the thing that threw Golden State off the most was just how Anthony Davis played. Like, they wasn't expecting him to be as aggressive as he was. So the Warriors better get to it, or if not, they're gonna get packed up. Like, but I feel like this series, this is one of those that's definitely going to 7. Like, I needed to go to 7 just because.
Trippy, real quick, who did you have in this series and how many games?
I actually got the Warriors in this one. Just because of my brother, but realistically though, because I'm gonna give you the realistic one, just to be real, I have the Lakers going just off of business, politics, year-wise, and what they're doing right now as of game 1. So I will say Lakers in 6. Yep, I'm gonna stick with Lakers in 6. But if I could have it in my way, it'll be the Warriors in 7.
Okay, Jones, what did you think of that game? Like, it was exciting. It was everything we were hoping for. Didn't get the big points from LeBron, but clearly it was the AD show. So what did you think?
Just based off of what the last thing you just said, it was the AD show. And if the Lakers want to win this series, it better be the AD show the rest of the series. Because who the hell on the Warriors can guard AD? Who? AD had his way. And he's going to have his way the entire series.
100%.
He has to. Because everybody that knows me knows I'm a big, big Bron fan. But we're not going to get that Bron.
No.
We're just not. He's been there. Them legs is getting tired. I love my Bron, but them legs is getting tired, and it's showing. He's not going to be able to give you those 30 and 15s all the time.
Right.
Maybe once in a while it'll happen. And right now he's shooting horrible from 3. He's pissing me off from shooting from 3.
How many threes did he shoot?
I forgot. I think it was 1 for 8 last night, something like that.
1 for 8 threes. He shot the most threes on his team.
Why is he shooting the most threes?
Is he healthy?
I think he's as healthy as he can be right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say he's 100% healthy. I think rest is a problem for him, though. I think he needs as much rest as possible. That's why he's putting up these threes. He don't want to drive the ball as much. I think that's what that's showing me. So, and right now they're not falling. So if we can't rely on him doing that and him driving like he should, because nobody can stop him from the paint, he's still one of the strongest and best drivers in the league at 38 years old. He's still the best at that.
Still a beast.
But he's him shooting all those threes tells me, man, I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I'm gonna tuck this damn 25-footer that I can make every once in a while and see what happens. If not, AD go to work. But I think the series is going to be amazing. But y'all know the saying, Lakers in 6. Come on now. Lakers in 6. My man Trippy said it already. Lakers in 6. Nobody can stop AD. I think AD is going to be zoned in after seeing what he just did last night. Hey, they ain't going to bring nobody to help neither? Oh, this is going to be a breeze.
He's about to feast, man.
I think that the Warriors are in trouble if they do not make this specific adjustment from what I've seen from this game. Draymond and Looney cannot play together. You have to choose one or the other. And obviously in that starting lineup, it ain't going to be Looney.
Can I ask you a question? Because that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
We already seen Draymond come off the bench. You think that's a better option?
No, I think that Draymond needs to start, and I think Looney needs to go to the bench. I think they need to bring in Kuminga. And why I say that is because you can't have two non-shooters in this series in your starting lineup the majority of the time. It just can't happen. You know, Looney, so basically if you saw last night, one of the reasons why some of them threes was falling, obviously, because this like damn near the best shooting 3-point shooting team we've seen, obviously with the best shooters on there, but they couldn't really get to the paint. I mean, you couldn't really do anything. And then the lanes weren't open because you have Looney and Draymond. These two can't, they don't have an offensive bone in their body. So the Lakers defended them as such, right? So I'm like, okay, Steve, I know that Looney is fantastic with his 23 rebounds and 10 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover. This dude is amazing. When you talk about a role player, this dude is amazing. I knew going in that he would do his job and he knows what his job is. The problem is he needs to do it coming off the bench. You know, he needs to take advantage of their bigs coming off of the bench and play with that second unit and take advantage to give Jordan Poole more offensive opportunities, to give them more offensive opportunities. That's what you need to do. Draymond is going to have to bang in this series. He's going to have to really, really get dirty, and he has no problem with doing that, but you kind of got to live with it. You know, there's nothing you can do about AD. AD's going to have an advantage. There's nothing you can do, you know? So what I see is that change, sitting Looney, bringing in Kuminga, and you got to play your bench. This is a series. You can't go 3 deep off the bench. You got to go 4 or 5 deep off the bench or whatever. And you got to draw AD out of that paint. You know, you got to pull him out as much as you can. Now, Draymond cannot shoot, but what does he do? He play makes at an elite level. So if he comes up and he's at the top of the key, he can see a play and still orchestrate what's going on. You're still going to have to check him because you got to make sure that he's not doing a laser pass to somebody blowing past you, you know, in the corner. You still got to watch out, but you can't do that with Looney in the starting lineup because you know what? That's one less person you got to worry about. So what I see is they got to get control. So Schroeder, I think he's going to have a good series. This is his series. You know, I think that he's going to be good. D'Lo, you got to make sure you put pressure on him. You put Gary Payton on him. You know what I'm saying?
Put sneaky one. He'll light you up real quick. You sleep on him.
He will consistently. It's quiet, but it's consistent that he'll do this thing where it's not a quiet 20. Excuse me, a loud 20. It's a quiet 20. You know, because he, you know, it's so sneaky, right? So. you guys gotta defend. You can't just shoot threes, and you can't shoot your way out of this series. You're actually going to have to bang, and Steve Kerr has to make an adjustment. But I think the number one adjustment is not playing Looney and Draymond together. I think that stops game one, and I want to see if he actually does it tomorrow, because then it'll let me know if he's adjusting well and if he gets it, right. and I want to see that, so what do you guys see as far as an adjustment that can be made for game two for the Warriors to get a game one and even this out? And go ahead, Trippy.
Well, on the Warriors standpoint, as of Jordan Poole, we're gonna start with him. He needs to slow down. He's playing too fast for himself, which causes careless errors, which causes him to take a damn near 34-foot three when he could have stepped up a little bit with that last shot of the game. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it was a shot that he should have took, but he damn sure had enough time to step up some. He should have stepped up. He shouldn't have just pulled from that far. You know what I'm saying? But he needs to slow down a little bit. I agree with you with switching Looney out and putting Kuminga in, and especially more so the emphasis on that. Emphasize on that. Draymond definitely plays a great enforcer role. So having him there matched up with AD, not only just for, his pass purposes, but for his defensive intangibles too, like really getting in, gritty, grinding. Like AD can't take too much body to body after a while. So that would tire him out. So where Looney came in, now you can see that Looney getting the boards because now AD starting to get fatigue mode. So
good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then another thing is, personally, I feel like this. I know they probably don't want to try it. They may be scared of the whole poking the bear thing. But if I see LeBron shooting as many threes as he did, Andrew Wiggins, get at him. Something's not right here. It's your time to show me what you about. Like, it's time to go kill the king, bro.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry, hunt him. If you see LeBron shooting that many threes, knowing how he plays,
100%.
Hunt him. Something's not right. And that's really it. Other than that, the rest of the team, they doing what they got to do. I didn't really catch it that much to where if I peeped if Moody got in the game a lot, but he definitely needs some more minutes. Like, the boy can shoot. He can help you stretch the floor a lot more.
6 minutes.
Yeah, he has to play way more than that, bro. He's getting the Obi Toppy treatment like that. 6 minutes. Like, what the hell is that? Like, yeah. But honestly, just especially like you said, they need to run a little bit deeper into the bench. If James comes out like that again, either Clay or Andrew Wiggins needs to attack that. And then, like you said, with the switches, Draymond needs to start, Kuminga needs to start, Looney needs to come off the bench. That's the adjustments I would make.
No, I love that. That's some great points. Jones, what you got for me?
Everything y'all said was right on point. And basically, coming out of what y'all said, basically what I was going to say is they need more offensive threats out there, because if you don't have any offensive threats and all the Lakers have to worry about is y'all chucking up threes. Now, yes, y'all are one of the best teams in the league to do it, but you can't count on them to do it every night. So if you chucking up threes and you ain't hitting a high percentage, and the Lakers attacking the basket and they putting up a high percentage, that's going to outweigh three. I know three is more than two, but if you're making more twos than threes, you're going to end up winning. So I think they need to put more pressure on the Lakers, attack the basket, have some guys that can actually put pressure on the Lakers defense. Because one of the things that it kind of made me upset watching the game, but then I thought about it, I'm like, the Lakers are actually playing smart doing this. The Lakers were just giving them those threes. They were like, hey, y'all going to take them anyway, so take it. Come in this paint. If y'all come in this paint, it's a problem. And at first, I'm like, why y'all giving them all these damn threes? And they was hitting them in the first half. And then come second half, they wasn't making all of them. I'm like,
yep, you live by the three, you die by the three.
You die by the three, and they died.
You die. You going to die from that.
Burn.
And the Lakers ain't no slouch on defense. So
100%.
I think if the Warriors want to get back in this, they're gonna have to put some pressure and get some offensive threats out there.
Another thing that I thought about too that they gotta add that actually might help. They're not utilizing this type of lineup. When you look at the Lakers, there's moments to where certain lineups on the floor are actually a little bit like very, very much older than this Warriors team, right?
Yes.
So if I see this old unit out, right? Just hear me out. Unit, forget Steph, forget a Clay. Why don't we ever get into let me see, Jordan Poole, Peyton, let me see, either Wiggins or Kuminga, or Wiggins and Kuminga with a Draymond at the 5? I'm running through them. You got a guard that's going to get you boards with Peyton.
Off the floor?
Like, come on. What? Like, what is going on with Steve? I mean, it's game 1, but Steve Kerr got to get in his bag. Like, y'all been going at this team for so long. You got to understand, yes, your LeBron may be on another team, but your team been the same. So LeBron kind of know your team by now. You gotta switch it up, bro.
So real quick, guys, right? I want you to take a minute, Trippy, to talk about your Knicks. Just a minute, because I'm gonna throw it to you for a minute, because we're gonna have to close this out soon. But go ahead, Trippy.
I got you, man. Look, man, it's Trippy OG here. You know, VSN, Big Nick Energy over here. At the end of the day, it's gonna be Knicks in 5. Why do I say that? And I'm going to keep it short and simple. After what I've seen in games 1 and 2, no matter if Jimmy Butler is there or not, you only beat us by 7 points. You had to go grit and grind just to get the 7 points. Had we sit there and actually hit shots, made 3 or 4 more threes, as Josh Hart said, we win that game. Had we sit there and actually stayed glued on your hip like we did in game 2, you wouldn't even got them shots to win the game. So you get where I'm going at? It would have been an easy sweep. And then at the end of the day, to close it out, it's not like we going to another arena. The Knicks run the South Beach side. So we going to MSG South. Knicks in 5, man. Holla at us. See you in South Beach, Miami.
Jones, what's up?
Big energy. I'm going Knicks in 6 just because I have respect for Miami Heat and what they about. Jimmy Butler's for real. But Knicks, like I said, this is the first time in a long time that I felt this confident in the Knicks team. They bringing it. They not scared of nobody. They gonna bring it. Jalen Brunson. They got threats out there. And when they all bring it together, man, it's a problem. Big Nick energy. I'm with you on that. Let's go.
I love Knicks fans. I really do. I really do.
We hear me. We hear me.
I love it. I love it. So I will say this. I had you guys winning that first round. Convincingly, and you did. I'm just anywhere Donovan Mitchell goes, I'm just always going to tell you that he's going to lose. And then this second round right now, what I want to see is smarter plays. I need to see smarter plays. I need to see you guys not trying to trade threes, but go in that paint and really make them pay. You know, because that team, if you look outside of Jimmy, ain't nobody really scaring you. So I don't need close games from y'all. I can't do the close games.
Now, here's this, though. I will give respect to Miami for this. Undrafted players or not, these players know what the hell they got to do. My son, Gabe Vincent.
Yeah.
My son out here, you know, what's my son name that was in the Tyler Perry movie? You know, that had the braided wig on. What's my son name?
I know I ain't messing with you.
You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Gabe Vincent, he's that guy. Like the fact that he can go from being a gunslinger and then after, you know, play the position he can play and then go revert back to it. And of course, coaching as well. Eric Spoelstra is dangerous. Yo, you have to respect the guy that can go from working on the computer to help you understand how to break down the play to then coach. That's deadly out the gate.
No, 100%. We gotta go, guys. Remember, subscribe to PEAT Podcast. We appreciate it. Thank you, Trippy, for coming. Jones, you my guy. Trippy, we gotta have you again. And we out.
Absolutely. Peace.